Yeah. This is the evening farm drive. Thank you so much for keeping it a farmers media, for your support, and for always following us and your comments. Today, I have a couple of shout outs I need to make from our previous shows where people have been commenting and talking to us. And every time I come to this microphone, I usually forget to say my name. Ni kama people already know who I am. Karibuni sana to the evening farm drive. My name is Jackie Mo, and I'm joined by two handsome gentlemen. Moja mzee, mwingine mzee kiasi.
Oh my God.
Nilikuwa nangojea tu nisikie reaction.
Oh my good Lord.
How are you guys?
Okay, personally I'm fine. I'm well and kept by the Lord. I don't feel like going back. I feel like going in front.
Kata. Karibu. Umesema jina?
Yeah, I'm Kamau Mwangi. Yeah.
And I'm Robert Mwakio. We'll see what we have today.
We have a very interesting topic here, and I know Kamau Mwangi. Once we finish today's show, you will look for Dr. Robert Mwakio. Mwakio, why do
I'm
they?
a consultant, so
Okay.
I charge per hour. I charge per hour, so
Unasikia hiyo?
Yeah, nimesikia.
Kwa sababu nilisema kuna mzee na mzee kiasi.
iko mzee.
They charge per hour.
Therefore being old.
Unachargingi aje?
Parawa.
Parawa gani? Ishafika hapo.
Yeah.
Big ups to my Nigerian fans. I'm hoping I'll be seeing you guys next month in Abuja for the hydroponic farming training. Yes.
Abuja, do you speak a little bit of Nigerian?
Nigeria has different tribes. I mean, it has more tribes than even Kenya.
No.
Yep.
Kenya we have like
48 tribes.
Kenya?
Yes.
In Nigeria?
There are many tribes. So don't think.
Okay, I remember last week I was talking with a guy from Congo and he told me there are over 500 tribes.
In Congo.
500.
Yeah. In Congo.
How?
You know, us we have only even Tanzania has more tribes than us.
No.
And you can never know. Us we
Interesting.
are so. I think we were divided. The divide and rule of the colonialists made us, look so much into our tribes.
So I'm imagining if a country has 500 tribes, you can't speak like all the languages they are usually taught. I speak Luo, Masai, Kikuyu. 500.
I mean, ours are just a bit. We have so much identity with tribes. Yeah, we are not nationalistic in the
Yeah,
the way we approach things.
Yeah, today we have a very interesting topic. We want to talk about vertical farming, kind of farming, and it's a new form that most of the people are taking up. In the morning you had the discussion on large population versus agriculture, how it's impacting even our feeding, our food systems. But before we get into this discussion, I want to shout out some few people. There's one Laban Ngeno. You know him?
Oh, he's there.
He said great stuff over there. My friend Dr. Robert Mwakio can be watching from Nairobi.
Yes, Laban. Hi, Laban.
Ademola Adeyinka. That one must be from Nigeria.
Yes, my Nigerian followers.
He
Big
says
ups.
he has a passion for farm work, but in the environment and society, he finds himself with no person to encourage or support, sponsor, and he wants to be a farmer in future.
Keep following us. Keep following us. Opportunities are there.
Yes, and I'll watch Michelle, who responded to one of our shows, and we were talking about how can we get more women to venture into agriculture, and she says by giving them the opportunity to do what they can and see the outcome. Well, when it comes to farm owners, they are afraid to even lease farms to women. Not just women, but young women. And that's the discussion we are actually having today in the Farm Girls show.
I followed it closely.
What was your thoughts on modern women and rural women?
I mean, I didn't want to get deep into such conversation because there's a lot, you cannot, zero in a few things like demographics. Yes, so long as we are equipped with a lot of knowledge, we can go far. either way, both sexes. Yes.
Can there ever be gender equality?
Now it depends. It reaches a time when the world is more determined to bringing equality. Now, if every chance is presented to both sexes, now it all depends with individuals. Can I like information is ready? Yeah. In Kenya right now, both women and men are entitled to own land. Your father can, your father's land can be your inheritance. You know. So we cannot start saying that women are secluded, because everything right now, I'm talking about Kenya, maybe Uganda or other countries, things are different. But now that opportunity has presented the women with all these resources, it now depends on the individual woman. Yeah, you have jembe, you go to the jembe, will say that panga or machete belongs to the man. I cannot do this work. Or maybe you put your fingers in nails, your nails cannot touch. So you say this belongs to men. So now it all depends back to the individual person. So gender and work is becoming a thing of the past. People say we are in 2020. We're in 2020. Yeah? So there's no difference between men and women. So if you see a woman who has a flat tire, I will tell her, you know what, you're in 2020.
Wow.
2022, yeah? When everything is the same.
You can't say that.
Yes.
You didn't say that.
For
Didn't
all
come
the-
from you.
No, I mean, we are fighting for gender equality. So gender equality is not one-sided, yeah?
Fiona.
Fiona.
Umegongwa.
Gender, you don't choose when gender is looked at. Equality is looked at this part, and you forget this part. So when we're going to dig, all of us will have to get our jembes and dig. We'll have to have a big debate one of these fine days, men versus women.
Yes, I'm ready. We
one
can
of those
even do it
shows.
tomorrow morning.
Yeah, one of those shows we tell them, you know what, we can go and dig. Everybody's given, we tell Noah to give us a portion of the big land. We do practice farming, we see which is the best. But what I know from the consulting I've been doing for the last 5 years, I can tell you women are more focused on agriculture than men.
Yeah, even when you...
Women who actually get in, because women are detail oriented. So when it comes to precision farming, I can tell you women are doing good. They're doing good. Give them the facility, give them the resources, give them the opportunity. They can do very well. Unlike men who don't take into consideration those little tidbits. Yeah.
Very interesting. Hey, Makio, you can talk.
I need to be your MP here.
So today we want to talk about vertical farming. There's various kinds of systems of vertical farming. We have the hydroponics, the aquaponics, aeroponics. Everything is ponics. But before we get into this discussion, let's just have a few videos to showcase what exactly we are talking about. Probably vertical farming is something new to some people like Kamau.
Exactly.
Yes, so let's have some videos as we get into this.
Hi, this is an aquaponic poultry system where we have chicken, integrated chicken culture. We have vegetables. We have the vegetables that are on top here, and we have fish. We have catfish, basically. And best part, we have vermipost, so that all the waste, there's nothing that goes to waste. You can see. So this is a purely integrated system where all the waste is collected. We leave no waste, and we collect it. Have all the best for our farm. feeding time.
And what do you make of those videos? Yeah, what have you understood? What have you seen?
Okay. One thing I can say I've loved about the videos is that there is maximum utilization of land, in a place where nimeanza on a higher note. So one thing about this type of farming is a place where you can't complain about farm space, because from the small video, from the small clip that I've seen, it's something that you're utilizing that small space that you have to do a lot. And so before we get into it, I kind of buying the idea.
You're buying the idea already.
I'm kinda buying the idea.
Yeah, so this modern form of farming is used to produce food in a small, controlled environment through vertically stacked layers to save on water and fertilizer. That one I'm yet to find out from Wakio how you save on water. And a number of farmers in Kenya are already successfully using the technology as part of their farming. And as we mentioned, there are various types of vertical farming. We have the hydroponics,
Like
the
the one you're
aquaponics.
seeing now is the hydroponic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is hydro. You don't see any fish there. Yeah.
So what's the difference between hydroponics, aquaponics, aeroponics? Is there any other before we get into the details?
Yeah, there's aeroponic. There's actually frogponics. There's a new one
No.
called frog. Yeah.
Now you're going too far.
Yeah, there's
For frogs.
Yeah, frogponics. I mean, it's just, what you just need is to get the waste. Yeah, not that you're eating the frogs, but you're harnessing what we're harnessing is from fish, the nutrients. So you can do your Google check.
Let me note down.
Anybody who's online, check something called frogponics. Even duckponics is there. Or you just use your ducks and then you pull the water and then it fertilizes their plants. Yeah, there are several ways. So these are just integrated system. All that there's a clear difference between aquaponic and hydroponic. Yeah. But now I'll just briefly start with the history of aquaponic, how it started. Yeah. So it started with the Chinese back, I think in the BCs before Christ. Yeah. Probably I think 1 or 2 BC, when they used to have these paddy fields, the rice fields, where they grow their rice, and then they realized that when there's fish, those mud fish or any type of fish within the paddy fields, normally the plants grow very fast. They grow very fast. The leaves are doing good, and it does well compared to the others. So this encouraged them to keep on doing the fish, adding the fish in their paddy fields. Now this thing went on. Even the Aztecs from Mexico also were doing this naturally. Most of these things actually came from most of these, like the fertilizers. One of my topics I've written about how fertilizers was discovered. It was discovered from bat waste, the guano. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the guano. In fact, there's actually almost a world war because of guano. Because there's an island in the Americas where there are a lot of bat caves. So people went and mined the cave, and they realized that when we put bat waste on soil, the yield doubles. They doubles and grows fast. Same as how fish, when it grows on the paddy field, the rice grows fast because of the high nitrogen. Yeah. So nitrogen is very important in plant growth.
Yes,
Healthy plants. So when you have an addition, when you find a way of adding nitrogen naturally, your plants grow very fast, and that is where this integrated system became. So later on in the year, I think it's in the United States back in the 70s when they started doing more research on integrated farming and what happens when we add fish, when the fish waste is, channeled to growth of plants. And this started showing signs of, something that can be researched on. Yeah. And with time, several universities and people are actually doing aquaponics in the United States. Now, as we proceed, more and more mechanization are coming. Like the university where I was in the US, we're doing a lot of mechanization in aquaponics. And then takes me to hydroponics is where you just...
So aquaponics is the one that came first before hydro?
Yes.
Okay.
Now hydro, basically this is soil free, but it's more nutrient based, where you just allow the plant roots to absorb nutrients that are already dissolved in water. Hydroponics do not include fish in whatsoever. However, you can include fish, the water that contains fish waste. You can use it instead of soluble fertilizer. Basically what happens in hydroponics, we have something called hydroponic solution. These are solutions that are tailored generally to suit the growth of plant. Different types of hydroponics have plants. Okay, let me take it back. Different plants have different nutrient needs. For example, lettuce will require higher nitrogen compared to kales or sukuma wiki. So, like for example, lettuce, the ones that grow very green and big, require 150 ppm. That's part per million mg. ppm 150. That means that you have very high nitrogen per dissolved in a liter, milligram per liter. So with that, hydroponics now embraces much on how nutrients can be absorbed directly. You see, like aquaponic, we need some nitrobacter bacteria to help us break down the nitrates to nitrites. Yeah, the nitrates to nitrites, which are naturally found.
Nitrates to nitrites.
Nitrogen.
In a chemistry class. Yeah.
Nitrogen is broken down into nitrogen oxide. From there, it's broken down into nitrates and nitrites. You remember? So there are different types of bacteria that do that. That breaks down. Finally, they're absorbed by the plants into different. Now it comes, like for example, fish waste has ammonia. Ammonia now has the nitrates, which are actually the nitrates, which are actually so it breaks down the chain, and for it to break down, you also need bacteria to be there. Now it takes me back to a research that we are doing right now in Kaimosi, with Kaimosi University. We are doing cowpeas. We're doing cowpeas as a suitable plant to curb food deficiency, or as a food security vegetable. We realize that cowpeas grows very fast.
Yes, 21 days.
Yeah, does not require a lot of water. Most important, it can be, it has a nitrogen fixing bacteria. It's a what do you call that? I'm not in a it's dosing, yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, so remember like cowpeas has the capability of fixing nitrogen.
Yes, in the soil.
Yeah, now what it does when we stimulate it in our aquaponic system, it not only helps us break down the fish waste, it absorbs it, breaks it down, and helps other plants, because we mix crop it, we intercrop it with other plants like kales, whatnot, yeah? But now this one grows very fast. The market is very high. And then, funny enough, I was just doing that research today morning. Cowpeas, or we call it kunde in Kenya, has a higher nutritional value compared to normal kales, cabbage, and all these plants that we have
Yeah, that's why I usually say people need to start going back to indigenous vegetables.
And you know,
But then
you
issue,
ask yourself, huh? You ask yourself, why are we so into following things that have been, you know, these are not indigenous plants, yeah? You want to grow kales, you want to grow spinach, you want to do this. And some
And
of
the
these
good thing
things,
about kunde, the cowpeas, is you can consume the leaves, you can consume the seeds,
you can
and
do
once
that.
the crop grows, it produces its own seeds again.
Yeah,
That's why you usually find it grows even in the wild.
cowpeas has 24% protein, almost next to soya. Do you know how expensive soya is?
Yeah.
Soya is very expensive, but the price of cowpeas is very.
Can I surprise you? I've
Yeah.
never tasted soya.
You never tasted soya? Yeah,
How
I
does
think
it
probably
taste?
if you take
I've never
porridge.
even seen how soya looks like.
Yeah, so we encourage pregnant. In fact, this project that we are doing with Kaimosi, we are trying to encourage. It's our women. It's a project for women. We are doing those sites. So we're trying to encourage women to grow them as a way of, especially lactating women. Lactating women, it's important for their growth.
Actually, there are women who, when you know, those times when a woman is pregnant and usually get cravings, they also just crave for that kunde. You know, when you're boiling it, there's that smell that usually comes out from the kunde.
Yeah. So we will be encouraged. If you want to follow more of the research, I'll be posting information in my Facebook page and also in a farmers media page.
Yeah.
If anybody is interested, we are trying to encourage farmers. You know, you can grow this thing on sand and go away. You'll come back 1 week or 2 weeks later, you'll find it growing like a weed. But who is a Kenyan? Kenyan will want to go and buy fertilizer. He'll want to buy this and put it on your farm. And you know, we need to encourage people to embrace indigenous vegetables. And I want to big up Nigeria, because Nigeria is the largest producer of cowpeas with 40.2% of the world production of cowpeas.
That's a big percentage.
Yeah, that's the total.
You know,
almost half.
You know, when you say Nigeria,
that's about 3.1.
the number one producer of cowpeas. I'm doubting, because our director here is Nigerian.
Does it cowpeas?
You should be knowing.
Divine.
Ogao. You should be knowing that.
Chinekeme, come and tell us if you know this.
They produce about 3.5 million metric tons of cowpeas.
Why?
Followed closely by Niger and Burkina Faso. But I was in Burkina Faso. It's a beautiful country.
Really?
Very beautiful country. All that we are really sad of the turmoil and the war that's going on there. But
they border Congo on some parts?
No, they're all in West Africa.
In West Africa?
There are several countries in West Africa. After Nigeria, we have Niger, we have Cameroon, we have Ghana, we have Togo, we have several of them.
Okay.
Tembea.
So tell us more about now this aquaponic system. Why would someone like Kamau here, who has never practiced this kind of farming, venture? Why should he venture into such kind of farming? And how easy or hard is it to practice?
Yeah, as somebody who's a pioneer of aquaponics in Kenya, our biggest challenge, number one, was the cost that's involved in mechanization or integration. You've seen the ones that we've been doing there that even include chicken and worms.
Yeah, I'll ask our director to play
director, can you play that clip? Yeah, the one that, or even that one.
That's an aquaponic as well.
Yeah, you can
in a house.
Yeah, just put that.
It's
put that. Yeah, so you see that one is that's like that one is integrated in the tanks in front. Those are chicken. No, those are fish tanks. Yeah, and then behind the house, that's where you have where the chicken will be. Yeah, we have first layer and second layer. Yeah.
I'm not getting there. Where exactly? In the...
You see the one behind is the chicken. So these tanks are slightly getting under that house. And that house is where we have the chicken. Yeah. And then at the side, all the water is channeled into a farm behind there. Behind that house, we have an aquaponic, a soil-free system. I didn't have a... can you do the blue, the one that has a hydroponic, the one I showed you, hydroponics, the one that has blue pipes,
Yeah.
blue pipes, the one that has blue, that
That
one.
one.
Yeah. So the water goes behind.
Mm.
The water goes behind and plants, and there's now an aquaponic.
So like you get all the water that comes from the fish and the chicken.
Yeah.
To the
it
farm.
goes. Yeah, it circulates to the farm
Mm-hmm.
and goes back. There's a way that it flows through gravity and goes back to the reservoir tank. And in the reservoir, that's where we hold all the impurities. Yeah. Extra fecal matter from the chicken. Yeah. So the extra fecal matter, what we normally do, we just use it for vermipose. Vermipose is worm culture. Yeah, we do that. So everything is connected here. We leave nothing to waste. So only that, if anybody sees that, it involves a lot of structural construction. That is where the financial bit comes in. But we are still doing research here and there to find a way of coming up with a very cheap solution for the African farmer, instead of having a lot of mechanization. And where some of us learned this technology, they highly mechanize it. Very good. They have factories that have serious aquaponic systems. For us to reach this level of trying to make it as easy for the African farmers, we've done lots of research, and we are trying to do like the picture that producer is about to show. Like that one is something that we did in a very easy way, in that we just did a pond and we put a chicken house, and then our water from the chicken house, we just let it go into a mini greenhouse, with a shed net. And in the mini greenhouse, see, we have plants that we put it in. What do you call that bag? That planting bag? You know the name?
I've seen it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see.
It has a name.
It has a name, yes.
Yeah.
So yes.
With there we have pumice. So the water moves. You can see the bags are actually at an angle. They move straight back into the pond underground. So everything is underground. Where that man is standing is the pipes that are passing underground.
Underground, yeah.
And they go, as they head back to the pond, they oxygenate the water by creating the bubbles. So the thing goes round. It goes round, and then we harvested quite a number of fish, about almost 5,000, 3,000, I think.
From the pond.
Yeah, from that fish pond. And vegetables grow well. Chicken grow well. You can see from the picture, the picture like that one, you see
that's a lot.
Yeah, and we've just squeezed them. I was just planting randomly, I was just planting whatever I can, just to see what will do well. Now the thing is, they're fighting for sunlight. That's why they're growing tall. You see, they're fighting, but they're here they don't fight for nutrients. There's nutrients. What they fight for is just light. And you're seeing how green they are. That's a result of high nitrogen in the fish waste.
Interesting. Kamau, what is your take on this kind of farming? Before I tell Mwakio to tell us now the story of how he got himself into aquaponics.
Okay, I tend to believe it's a nice venture, and compare thinking and listening to Dr. here. I feel like despite I know he has some disadvantages here and there, and which I'll be in a better position to answer that when when he touches.
We only look at the disadvantage.
Actually, out of those vegetables, out of those, I guess there's sukuma wiki.
They're all everything.
It's everything.
Even viazi tamu, you see those ones running there.
Yeah.
Those are what do you call them? Yeah, how do you call those sweet potatoes?
Sweet potatoes, yeah, ngwashe. I have thought it on a business wise idea in mind, and I found that
yes, it will make it. I mean,
that's some good money.
You've already calculated how many bags you'll be getting.
Exactly, and that leafy plant carries a lot, and that's some good money.
And if you do this for your backyard, you'll be having excess food all the time.
And actually, I found it's like something very easy that you can do even here in Nairobi. For those who have some small space.
I did it. I started in a balcony.
In a balcony.
Yes. That's what I was saying before I tell Mwakio to say his story. I was looking for farmers Getting farmers, it's usually not easy.
Mhm.
So I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw Mwakio's story,
Mhm.
and I was like, this is not true.
Mhm.
So I contacted Mwakio on Facebook and I was like, I've seen your story. What is? I didn't even know what an aquaponics is. I was just by there. I was just like you. I didn't know anything.
Mhm.
So Mwakio invited me to his farm. Now that's where he explained. Then he told us the story. Mwakio, so you share the story.
Actually, with this, you can't sleep hungry.
Yeah, you can.
He started this aquaponics in a balcony.
Balcony, yeah. Just we not we can I can take it back where after coming from the US, yeah. You have too much when you live in a world where life is so fast. Life is you wake up in the morning, you don't even sleep. Wake up, you have several jobs. Now you're back to a situation where you have so much time in your hands. So I thought it right to, and I just called my mom back at home. I told her, can we want to do something small for you as a small experiment? We see how we can be able to do this. We did something in the backyard, as usual, with so many skepticism.
Yeah.
Fish cannot stay in a tank. Where have you seen fish stay in a tank? Vegetables can never grow on rocks. Like you were saying, I know it has disadvantages, no? So when you look at a cup half empty, it's going to be very hard to fill it. It will be easier for you to get off the water than to fully fill it. Yeah. So sometimes I close my ears and I do things. If I fail, I will redo it. I redo it until I get it. So we did it first time. Doing the plumbing. Put water here, it leaks, you put the fish, a few fish, you wake up in the morning, you just see one fish dead, your heart is broken completely. So we had one, I did that just in a bucket. I think there's a picture somewhere. No, it is one, sorry, I didn't put it in that. So I did that project, went back to Nairobi, I didn't even know, you almost forgot all about it. Umejipa shughuli, you forgot. Just you leave instructions with your mom. Do this, just put some food there. And my mom is very good at doing things. Me had gone and forgotten completely. And then she called me, sasa samaki yako utafanya nini? What will you do to your fish? There are so many, some of them are jumping out of the tank. They jump, she keeps on returning them, they jump out. I remember I didn't close. Next time I'll give you the picture of the first prototype we did. Just some tanks, just oil tanks. Cut halfway, put it to look like this. The water will take it to a gravel, It was very basic. And after that, I came to realize this thing can work. It can work. We harvested fish, though people where we stay, people don't like fish that is reared in a pond. So we decided, okay, fine, we'll eat fish. Fridge was full.
How many fish did you start with?
I did about 150, 100 and something.
Wow.
Even one fish eating alone is a big issue.
Yeah.
Just one fish and probably only 3. Tell neighbors, come, any person who comes to visit us, kuna samaki.
Samaki ziko kwa wingi.
Yeah, until some lady came and started, buying a few just to go and choma, to go and roast them. And then she disappeared with almost so many of the fish. But we said, anyway.
She didn't pay.
Yeah, okay. I will pay you once people sell. That's the problem also with, I'll pay you once I get customers. Yeah, because disappeared. Anyway, the thing did well. This thing could work. It's not only in America where this thing works. It could work now. Started slowly, that's when I started even sending email, doing Facebook. People like you started seeing. My first breakthrough came from I was contacted by a Norwegian NGO. They wanted to set it up for an orphanage somewhere in Kisumu, which we did. Though the land that they were doing wasn't theirs, but it worked out. So I realized that this project is suitable for places, for schools, for homes where you need surplus food, yeah,
Yeah.
because you'll be harvesting different things. You harvest fish, and you harvest vegetables. Now I went a notch higher, went and thought about what else can we add into this. That is when I came up with the aquaponic poultry system. Now where I put chicken to be incorporated in the whole system. So the first video that you saw was where chicken could walk on top. The waste from the chicken just falls into the aquaponic system. Now the fish will eat. The fish will be able to eat the part of the waste. Now why we have chicken in the first place? Chicken waste, once it goes into water, it increases the growth of planktons. Microscopic planktons, just planktons, and those green algae. The green algae is very good for fish. Those fish food.
The things we eat.
So samakis will not only be eating the normal food plus the chicken waste, which is chicken do not digest fully. So part of their waste is food for the fish. Now, we thought this waste will just fall down and remain there. What do we do about it? So we pull out, through a pump, we pull all the water out. We go and drain it into a grow bed. We call it a grow bed. The soilless grow bed, where we put gravel or pumice, cocoa peat, whichever inert base that we can be able to put. Why do we do this? We put this soil-free media to facilitate water permeability. The water goes, and as it passes, it sieves the waste. As it sieves the waste, the roots are able to absorb directly. And the water goes back into the pond, clean. And as it hits, you see, like, have you ever seen when you're trying to cool your tea, like the way our mothers used to do, even porridge? When you do like this and like this, you see bubbling. When it bubbles, it increases oxygen solubility in the water. So when the water hits, when we return the water, it hits back the water. It creates a bubbling effect. That bubbling effect actually increases oxygen solubility, which is very good for the fish.
Yeah, because they need to breathe. I'm seeing there's a picture there of like how big should an aquaponic system be like, and what are the correct materials to use? Because right now, you know, akina Murife here, they'll come and tell you, hii tutakuwekea, we will put for you. Then they come and put like wooden ones. There's some plastic which probably doesn't last for long.
Yeah, no, it depends. It depends now.
Tell us about there was that system that was there before. Yes, this one. Tell us about this. This is the poultry. That's a video.
Yeah, that's the aquaponic poultry system. You see, those tanks. They are called the IBC totes. Yeah, those tanks are the ones that we put water on top. There we have chicken walking. As the chicken walk, they drop the waste down there. We collect the waste. You can see peppers down there. We collect the waste. Part of the waste goes to the pond, but we control. That's why you're seeing those wires and water.
So what is that before the water? I'm seeing the grass.
Yeah, you see we have fish there. Those are fingerlings, yeah. And then we've just mulched. Those are plants that we've planted directly, seeds, and that is where we put all the chicken waste in a vermipost, yeah. Yeah, that's where we collect all the chicken waste, and you can see worms. Now,
earthworms.
Those are earthworms, yeah. And they multiply there in millions, and they end up being feed for both chicken and fish. We also do maggots.
Repeat the video again. So where the plants are, where the grass is, the mulching is done.
Where we've planted them directly on into the grow bed. You know, that's totally soil free, yeah. And I hope my producer will pause it when we reach near the IBC, yeah. So this is just a tank that we've cut it and put it into half. The top side, we've constructed in such a way.
Just pause there.
Pause it there. We've constructed in such a way the top part is there. You see, it comes at an angle. You're seeing it coming at an angle.
Yeah.
So at that angle, you see there's a green pipe behind there.
Yeah.
So the water is moved from the collecting tank down. We use a pump to pull it and send it up there. So as it's sent up there, it's spread across all those grow beds. We call them grow beds. Yeah. So we have put the mulch. We've just mulched the plants that we've grown directly. We don't use. We've not used seed beds. We just plant them directly there.
You place the seeds and you wait for them to germinate.
Yeah, because this thing will always be passing. The water will be passing there, so it will give them nutrients. Yeah, just a couple of days for them to germinate. Once they germinate, we remove the mulch. I think next time I'll send you pictures. You see how big they are, the vegetables are.
So what's the required size? Fish. Because the size for the crops. Because I'm assuming once they start growing, they'll go higher than the.
Yeah, now it depends with how you want it. You see, this time we've put the tanks behind the chicken, so that they can grow to whichever length they want to grow.
Okay.
Yeah. Now it also depends with what you as an individual farmer would want for your farm.
So even the worms on the other side are feeding on the waste from the
yes.
chicken?
Here there's totally nothing going to waste. Totally nothing. Some of the waste goes into the where the plants are growing, but much of the waste we are making a vermicompost there. And the worms are helping us create good fertilizer, good manure, and they also food. Eventually, if we are done with them, we feed them to the fish.
To the fish and
so
the
you're
chicken.
seeing like a totally integrated system. And you look at the space. I mean, I don't need like a 10-acre. Each tank there we have about 200 fish. 150 between 100 and 100 between 75 and 150 catfish, and there are a total of 9 tanks.
What is it?
And that is the queen. That's a queen. We call it the queen catfish. The ones that grow fast and they grow big.
Are you convinced that farming can be fun? Because I mean, I would love to tour such a farm and just see the way things are just happening. Because with Mwake, you forgot to explain how the water flows, like the system.
Where we are right now, you're seeing the pipes. Those pipes actually interconnected, and that is where the location, the base there is where the water moves. Yeah, we'll call it the outlet, and then it moves into a pump. There's a pump at the very end. And we time it in such a way that each the movement of water is uniform to all the tanks, so that not one tank is disadvantaged when it comes to receiving the water or getting the water out. So in such a situation, we're able to do all this, and the fish are able to enjoy the oxygen because the water comes back with the speed because of the angle at which the grow beds are. So the grow bed receive the excess waste, chicken waste, and also the waste from the fish. Yeah, and then you have things growing very fast. In fact, when we put this, we were shocked. Within 2 days, we opened the mulch. They're already grown.
It was like magic.
Yeah.
Then do you have any question on what you've seen so far?
From the look of it, it's very beautiful, and I will probably want to ask how much time does it take to have this set up?
That we did that in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
We did that because we've been doing it over and over.
It's it's easy loving it from the view than when you get on action.
Yeah. And they know it's not like as easy as everybody thinks that he just done this, and then you go to
you take this pipe, you put it here.
You go to Gikomba. I've told you about the way you pull water from each tank. That it's total balancing, so that one tank doesn't lose lots of water and the other loses water. No, it has to be very balanced, and you have to be very smart in how you do it.
This is just an introduction to the vertical kind of farming, and we've taken a sneak peek on aquaponics. We'll be taking a short break, but do stay with us, because when you come back now, we'll delve deeper into this discussion. There have been many questions that have been raised on the importance of even testing our waters. Like Dennis has just heard and is like, this is very nice. Wait until you put up that system and then you put your crops thinking that and the fish thinking they'll grow.
It's not as easy as everybody thinks. So you have to have a lot of information, a lot of knowledge. If you're there, just that person who goes to work and you leave maybe somebody from the village take care of it. Tomorrow will come and find all your fish dead.
They're floating on top of the tanks.
Yes.
So we'll be taking a short break. This stay with us. Keep this comments coming on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we will sample them as we go on with the show. Keep watching Farmers Media.
A nursery bed is a small area of a yard or garden that's used for growing certain selected plants. The goal of a nursery bed is to grow young plants to a certain size at which they can be easily transplanted. A nursery bed can also be used to evaluate plants to see if they are worthy of planting in the larger garden, to observe their growth, habit, and color, or watch them for pests and diseases. A nursery bed is especially helpful for vegetable gardeners practicing succession in planting, in which a steady supply of fresh produce is maintained. Agriculture is the art and science of cultivating the soil, growing crops, and raising livestock. Agriculture provides most of the world's food and fabrics. It is not only a source of food and income, but also creates employment opportunities for many people in the world. Over 1 billion people worldwide work in agriculture, generating 2.4 trillion for the global economy. The global impact of farming on the environment is revealed that 40% of the Earth's land is now given over to agriculture. Agricultural development is one of the most powerful tools to end extreme poverty, boost shared prosperity, and feed a projected 9.7 billion people by 2050. And we, the Our Farmers Media, roll the carpet for you as we welcome you to our thrilling farm visits to different farmers that educate and inspire you in different sectors in agriculture. Catch us also on our shows on all our social media platforms as we bring you educative and informative information that will help you learn and guide you on your agriculture journey to success. Our farmers attain knowledge and grow profits.
Farmers is the home of Africa Farmers Club and by extension African Farmers. The whole idea behind Farmers is to transform the image of an African farmer from a producer into an entrepreneur, somebody who actually does not think about how to produce onions but how much is going to be used to produce onions, and so that way then they can be able to transform their vision, they can be able to look at their farms as businesses, and they can be able to know when to engage with the market. What we have done is that we have developed a hub where farmers bring their information, bring their questions, their challenges, and other farmers are there to come out and help. Facebook has not just been instrumental, Facebook has been a working partner for myself as well.
and how they have Facebook has actually transformed the way we relate, an open platform. My background is in tech, and I know you cannot build a platform that can reach out to so many people. Initially, it was just a few farmers in 2 counties, Machakos County and Kajiado counties, but now it has transformed. We have a stronger membership from Nigeria and Zambia than even Kenya itself, you know. And the reason behind this is the messages I get from different farmers across Africa. And then something interesting came to my mind, and I thought about using the camera. Every time I visited farmers, I would be able to post in the community, in the group, in my own profile, and just share the story of the farmer that I visited. And then I asked myself, why wouldn't I get this information, develop it in a way that other people can be able to benefit? If we go for a training, how do we capture that so that those who are not, the farmers who are not able to come for that training can still benefit? And hence the birth of a farmers media. Our mission as an organization is to help farmers, African farmers, to attain knowledge and grow profits.
And welcome back. You're watching and listening to the Evening Farm Drive. Today I've been told to shout out our Oga brothers and sisters all the way from Nigeria. Are you eating fish or is it cowpeas? As you said, you're going. When are you going to Niger?
It's supposed to be having a training in Abuja from the first week of December, but we are yet to confirm, and we'll put posters. Start putting posters, and we'll keep everybody informed on when the training will be.
Yes. So today we are talking about vertical farming as a new kind of farming that most people in the urban centers are adapting to. The various types of vertical gardens. There's the hydroponics, there's aquaponics. Aeroponics, I doubt if there are many people who have ventured into aeroponics.
I've seen quite some number of people doing aeroponics in Kiambu here in Kenya, and we've done the aeroponics in Senegal also.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would someone want to have such a system? Like, why just have plants floating?
It is space efficient, yeah. Especially these are urban-based agricultural activities, just to save on space. We realize that people don't have much space, and not so many people can depend on food from what do you call the reserves. So for those people who love practicing or who want to do their own organic farming, or like when you have your kitchen garden, you can be able to utilize a lot of space that you have on your backyard to do a lot of agricultural activities for your own benefit. If you want to sell it to your neighbors or to your people around you, you can also do it, because what you are doing is just using space above. Yeah, space above is not limited. Yeah, you can go as far as you want.
Interesting. But mostly from today's conversation, what I've gathered is for any hydro or aquaponic to work, it has to be soilless. Why soilless?
No, soil is just a media. Now, why we like it soilless, number one, is for maximum absorption by the roots. Yeah, we need something that can anchor the root, so that the roots can be able to absorb directly the whatever whichever nutrients that are presented to them via the aquaponic system or the hydroponic system. So like in hydroponic system, there's the ebb system where the roots are purely suspended on water, so the roots absorb directly. It absorbs through something called active transport, where the roots absorb the nutrients into their system directly. One fact that people do not know is that soil is just a media, you know, a media that contains that holds nutrients, yeah. Like humus, you know, in humus you have lots of nutrients. That's why they say some soil are fertile and others are not, depending on the kind of minerals or nutrients that you have, or trace elements that you have in your soil, or in your soil. And that's why the more you use your soil, the more the nutrients are getting depleted. You see, like which example can I use? Like how if you take tea, the tea bags,
Yes.
and then you use it, you know, you cannot keep on
You cannot use
reusing
the
that
same tea bag
until
in the tea.
yeah, that is what happens to your soil. You keep on reusing this, and you completely deplete the nutrients. So what happens? You're left to add nutrients. Whatever people are doing right now by adding fertilizers, it's like the same as what we are doing in hydroponics. On that hydroponics, what we do, we just get the precise elements that are needed by the specific plants. Yeah, remember the NPK, nitrogen, nitrogen, phosphate, and potassium. Yeah? The NPK percentage is different in different plants. The NPK, so you'll find some plants that need a higher percentage of N, like extremely high. The P and K also help in plant structural growth. Yeah, the morphology of the plant. So depending on your plant, like kales and other green plants require very high nitrogen for their growth, for their leafy structure. Yeah.
Interesting. Now we've just touched a bit on aquaponic and what exactly it entails, and you've also mentioned a bit on hydroponics. But what exactly is hydroponics?
Hydroponics is actually a soilless, soil-free or soilless agricultural system where plants are able to absorb soluble
Yes, I'll ask our director to put up some of the pictures
Yeah,
of hydroponics.
Yeah, hydroponic is basically a soil-free media where plants are able to absorb directly. They are able to
Yeah,
absorb directly nutrients that are already dissolved in water. Yeah, like a system. That's just a system, a basic system that we have, where you can use your plastic bowls to have an hydroponic system.
And
You see?
it's so pretty. But I'm just wondering, when you said soilless, I thought you're using other medias.
No.
Like there's totally no soil.
You can see that there's no soil. Water just passes. So the thing is, why we have soil. The most basic function of soil is anchoring, to enable the roots hold the plants. Now what we are doing is artificially holding the plant so that the plants become hydrofluoric. Hydrofluoric meaning they are able to grasp or get whatever they want in terms of the nutrients that are in the water. Yeah?
Wait, I didn't know. You know me, I used to think that the hydroponics is the one that you use, I don't know, pumice. I didn't know
You
that
can do. There's one.
it
If you
doesn't
go to
have
the
soil.
first one, yeah, the one that we just did in that one. There's one that we just finished in Kibwezi. That one we are using rocks. Just using rocks. You can use coco pit. What you do is just to hold it, yeah, to hold it. I'm sure I told the guys who I did that project for to tune in and follow this as part of to get more knowledge. Now what happens is that they're even shocked when I told them you can plant them directly. In fact, I know like today
Even
those plants have started growing. We plant them direct, the seeds. We planted the seeds directly, and that is rocks. I went and collected rocks, put it there. So they were questioning, will these things ever grow? So today I was being told by one of the experts who is there, who told us things are growing.
Yeah, let me see
like
the other one,
magic.
the brown one. The brown one, the next one, no? The next one to the right. To the right.
So basically, it's soil free. Yeah,
that one.
there.
Wow,
Yeah,
this
now
is...
that one, we just use waste pipes. You see the pipes that are used in doing toilet work. That's why they call waste pipes.
Okay.
And then you get a gradient where the water just flows. Pour water, it just runs. As it runs, it's absorbed by the bottles, and then through capillary, the water is able to move up using something called osmosis.
So these ones can also be actually put on the wall, like they become like hanging gardens.
Yes, you can have
Like
hanging
you
gardens.
can have like different designs and models.
Yeah, you just put water just once or twice a day, and you go about your business. Yeah. Like the next one, you just do it. That's the hanging garden or something like that. So long as what you just want is your plant. You just get that. You see, like what happens in drip irrigation. You know, the water that drops in drip irrigation is quite small.
Yes.
Whatever you need for your roots is quite really small. So long as they're able to absorb it. You know, there are some people who think that you have to pour like 10 liters of water so that the plant grows. No, your plant just needs just a little absorption for it to grow.
Wow, this is interesting.
Yeah.
So you need to explain. Let me see that one in the greenhouse. What makes the crops grow? Because, like you mentioned, soil is just a medium. But then without soil, how do the plants get the nutrients that they require in hydroponics?
Through the roots. So what happens is the nutrients are dissolved in water. What the plants are able to do is actually absorb it direct. Like you see, some of these nutrients. Okay, let me go into science. The absorption is through something called active transport. It's not osmosis. Active transport, where cells are able to absorb from a point of low concentration to higher concentration to a lower concentration. Is it the other way around? Yeah. So movement of water moves from a point of high concentration to low concentration. The reverse of osmosis, okay, that's the simplest way I can tell. It's a reverse osmosis where the plants are able to absorb all the nutrients. Once it's absorbed, it's like digestion. Once you take your water, when you drink, let's say you drank energy drink, yeah, or glucose, the body now takes it's the function of the body now to start breaking down, yeah, through enzymes.
Yeah.
Different enzymes are able to break down different nutrients for absorption, yeah. Remember how photosynthesis is done, yeah. It's the leaves, it moves from the roots taken to the leaves. The leaves, through energy from the sun, is able to break down cellulose into glucose and energy. So that breakdown, that photosynthesis now takes place. Yeah, so that is for another day. It's a bit of complex science.
That is too much science.
Yeah.
But what crops can be grown in all these systems? Like, with the aquaponics you showed us, even sweet potato vines can be
Can
grown.
you go back? There's a picture there I want you to see. There's a picture there just next to that on your left. Go back. Yeah, there. You'll see cassava. The picture of cassava. They're just there in the pictures. Yeah, there. Yeah, you'll see cassava. And somebody said cassava cannot be grown like aquaponically. We played around and we did cassava.
But it has to be on the ground, right?
Yeah, it's actually on the ground. That one is on the ground. We did that's the first cassava ever planted in an aquaponic system in the world.
Have you already tasted? Does it taste differently?
No, it's just normal taste. Just okay.
Does it grow big like the normal cassavas?
Yeah, it grows big like the normal. Only that the roots now are spread because they're not going down. They're spread across the planting band. So that also increases how the yield, because as it continues to grow, it expands. It grows faster when it grows vertically.
Really?
Yeah, because when it grows down, there's that force, the ground force also inhibits its growth. So that's one thing that I learned from
I'd love to see how they're looking. Have you done the harvesting, or they're still?
That's
I'd
beginning
really,
of the year. Yeah.
I'd really like to see how
Yeah,
they
so
look.
we're doing a lot in our farm. Those people who are located in Western Kenya, we have our farm in Vihiga in Kaimosi area. You can just come. We do a lot of this testing. When you see me out of Nairobi, I've disappeared for a while. Those sides looking at some of these crops that we're trying to see which is best for people. Yeah.
As much as you're trying to, it looks rosy and beautiful
Easy.
and easy.
Like that, I wanted her to show me that picture. There's the white ones. Yeah, there's some pictures there that look very quite easy for
Yeah.
You see, Pinterest makes it look very easy for you. You'll go to Pinterest and you look at it. You say, this is something I can do. I can do. Now, by the time you start trying to get even the flow of water, the leakages, whatnot, you'll end up, it's quite like the ones that we've done in. When you do something for a while, it becomes very easy. I'll go and do something. You can't even imagine. Last week I was out for 2 days. I went, did a project and came back. And I can tell this project, I can give somebody else, you can do this thing for almost a month.
Yeah.
Just to get how the gradient moves and how the water moves. And each plant has to get equal measure of nutrients. So that no one plant is not suffering because of the other. So it's not as easy as people might think. But once you have it, like once we have it set for you, it's something that can take you for decades. Yeah, what you do, you just change your plans. Change your plans and change your tactics. While your neighbors are struggling, waiting for rain, you are there. You can be feeding your neighbor. That's the one advantage of hydroponics, because you can do it all year round. You do not require rainfall. You do not require the weather, like is it humid or is it not humid, or is it hot or not. Something that you can be doing it all year round. And then most importantly, you can do very many crops there, very many crops. The only thing that can inhibit is just probably the size of plant. So we can do cabbage, things like cabbage on hydroponic.
Can fruit trees be grown?
Yeah, we actually do vines. Strawberry. We've done strawberry. In fact, the one that we went to in Kamulo, those were strawberries. Did strawberries. Strawberries do very well. Cherries, even cherry tomato. Yeah, the herbs also do quite well. That's why reasons why most people, especially in Europe and the United States and Australia, they do it because of the herbs. Yeah, if you want mint or you want something that you can put flavor to your plants. Yeah, so this is one thing that we can embrace as Africans.
Yeah.
And have everybody doing this in your backyard. So that we shouldn't be begging for food. It's quite shameful for a country like Kenya to go out there to COP27 and say we want the developed nations to start funding us money for food, and
For
something that we
food.
can be able to do it on our own.
So as compared to the normal kind of farming where people grow food in farms, would you say if people adapted to this kind of farming, they will be able to increase yields?
Yeah, because basically what you're doing is not only improving, you improve the yield and also improve how fast you can be able to get your crops. Because when you're doing hydroponics, realize that plants grow faster. They grow faster, you can be able to double your yields. You'll double your yields, and then you can be able to redo it over and over. In a year, you can be able to do it quite a number of times. Yeah. If you have good market, you can be able to sell and make returns out of it, because what you just need is to change the plants. Yeah. No much work. No weeding is involved, no fertilizer, no pesticide. Just that. It makes it so easy for you as a farmer. The only place where it might be a challenge is the setup, but once it's all set up for you, it's all systems go.
Interesting. Probably as we come to a conclusion of today's show, what could you advise farmers when it comes to vertical kind of farming right now? We're having the effects of climate change. By the way, I was supposed to ask, can animals, can livestock keepers practice vertical farming?
Yeah. I was supposed to show you the land that we did in Homa Bay, where we have cows, goats on top, and under there all their waste. We get their waste. We do vermipost.
I need to see that. I need to see
and
that.
from the waste we are able. In fact, we also have rabbits in part of it and chicken. We do the vermipost, and then with that we also have an aquaponics system that goes. It's very complicated. You can do it. We can do vertical farming is there. In fact, for animals, it's quite interesting because you can have chicken on top. It's normally chicken. We started with rabbits and then chicken and then goats and then cows.
Wow.
On top. So we have stairs where the cows go.
They know how to climb?
Yeah, just take them up.
I need to show us the video.
I have the picture with me. I don't know why I didn't even send it. And
that's interesting.
Yeah.
We need to have a show on that.
Yeah,
probably even with the
I
farmer.
will invite the person we did this project together.
Because if you go down these roads in Kajiado, you'll be shocked.
Why?
The way animals are lying dead, because of the climatic condition.
I've seen. I
So
live there.
you can imagine if most of these people practice that kind of farming.
It's quite sad.
It would have saved, eh?
Yeah, but now access to information is where the problem is. Yeah, you'll find that few people who have this information want to remain with it so that we can take advantage and charge people so much money to do it. These are something that can be embraced. There's a time the former Jebi Kilimo was trying to come up with hydroponics. I don't know how far she went with that. Yeah, I can know that the government set aside some funds for the hydroponics, but we don't know where the funds went to and what happened. If you can have demo farms
We really do.
for just free training for farmers to show them this is it. Come up with kits like what we are doing right now with the Kaimosi University. We want to make, you see what you've seen on the Pinterest, a few things. We show people how to make a DIY hydroponic system. I don't know, producer, if you can be able to go back to the picture that had that one there. We want to show guys how to do that picture there. We want to show how we can be able to teach farmers, how to make very basic things. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. Yeah. So we want to just, these are called DIYs, yeah. We want to teach farmers. We have a training system where we teach farmers. You see, you can do something this small, and now from this kind of small knowledge you have, and these are the things I'll be teaching guys in Nigeria. Do something this small, and then from there expand it to something as big as the next one, yeah. So from there, with the same knowledge, you expand it to something that can suit you, as long as you understand the science behind it, how water flows. This is called the ebb flow hydroponic system. So I want you to go to a picture down there, see, yeah, that is an hydroponic that is already doing quite well. Yeah, the one that is showing, you can see how the red spinach is doing quite good, yeah. And such a person can be able to harvest continuously.
So how does the water flow in such a system? Because I'm not seeing the irrigation lines.
You don't need a water passes in those pipes. The pipes actually slanted in a way to allow gravity to take place, yeah. So it only it grows, yeah. It grows. The plants are able to access the water from the cups that are there, because the water flows under. Yeah, so
under the cups.
Yeah, under the cups. So roots are actually hydrolyphic, meaning they would want to move where there is water for it to grow. Yeah.
Interesting. I've really learnt a lot from today's show, and so you just accept you install one for me at my mother's place.
You know, I was telling one of our clients, we could do this, but now the things have become very expensive. The pipes. If the more people are constructing here in Kenya, the prices of materials are going up. Things are just, the things that I used to buy at 200, 300 shillings or 400 right now are 1,200 shillings. So you can imagine. Coupled with also price of transportation, just to move these things, and hardware prices are extreme. That's why I'm telling you, we are trying to do more and more research. We see how we can be able to come up with cheaper designs, but not the Chinese cheap. The one that I do for you, and then 2 weeks later you call me and tell me, it's not working now.
You lied to me.
Yeah, I lied to you that it's not working. Yeah, that's not want quality things, but something that can be done easily, and more importantly, like if you can be able to recycle, like you think we are using the tanks that are already, like the oil tanks that are considered as waste. All that, some of these things are being sold in Kenya. If you go to other countries, you find them for so free. You go and get those pipes, those waste pipes for free. Just go to the dump site to get so many waste things, and you do your own system and you do it for free.
And come to think of it, why is it that most of these vertical farms are plastic? Like, I've not seen any metallic.
It's expense also, and you can do the tanks. By the time you even piercing that tank, you see, it needs a lot of work, and then just holding it on top, that's a lot of weight. So plastic is actually the best and long lasting. They can last for years and years. Durability, also how easy it is to make. And basic, it just also how the structure can be able to hold. We don't want to use so much like metal. When you're doing metals, you also use a lot of energy coming up with soldering and that's why we're using basic materials like that.
Interesting. So what is your take home to young farmers who probably have no space and would like to venture into agriculture?
Yeah, do your research, do lots of reading, understand, do a lot of DIYs. You can go get them on YouTube, how you can be able to save space. Do it, play around with agriculture. You see, it's like CBC. Some of us we never seen. CBC enables you to think outside the box.
Yes.
That is what the DIY videos are in the YouTube. And YouTube, I really remember this guy who was the javelin guy who went to Yego, just through YouTube. Play around, see something. You can end up inventing something from somebody online who was doing it. Do it better. see how you can be able to, the issue is try to see how you can solve a problem. And that is why we came up with aquaponic and hydroponic, to save the issue of space and increase production. Yeah.
Interesting. And that has been the evening farm drive. Today we were talking about vertical farming as one of the newest forms of farming that is really being picked up on a fast pace by most of the urban farmers. And it's a nice way of doing things, like apart from just getting the usual food that you know how it was grown and how it has been taken care of. It is a form of, how do you call the
innovative.
I've forgotten that name. Like the design, like what is it? These crops that are usually grown as a
ornamental or
not ornamental.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys tomorrow when I remember.
Probably somebody will help us.
Yeah, post if you get what I mean. Yes. So landscaping. What is it? It has gone. But it's a nice way of even decorating your environment, beautifying. Yes. So we've learnt a lot. Thank you so much, Mokio, for making time to educate us. I hope our Nigerian audience, you've gotten something, a thing or two from today's show. Last week we visited the Markup exhibition where they had an expo on fruits, vegetables and herbs, and we got to interview and interact with some of the people who are at that event. So we'll be leaving you with an interview from one of the people who are doing value addition on sweet potatoes. They're making sweet potato crisps.
Oh, nice.
Sweet potato puree. You see the puree that the mango ones.
That's the thinking outside the box.
So they're doing the sweet potato puree, and then it is the way you make spaghetti. Spaghetti is baked, or how is spaghetti made?
I have no idea.
So they pass it through the system to make
I would really love to learn about that. You have their website and whatnot.
Even the number. Just go listen to the interview,
yeah.
and you'll get to know the value addition of sweet potatoes. So I'll be leaving you, Mokio, your goodbyes.
Thank you so much, and I hope you've learned a lot today.
Yes. So we'll be seeing you tomorrow, 3 to 5. Bye for now.
Bye.
So thank you so much, dear audience and lovely audience, for always following our Farmers Media. Today we are at the 2022 Fruits, Vegetables and Herbs Conference and Exhibition, and right now we are touring just the various exhibitions to showcase various value additions, and I'm in one of the exhibition spots. Thank you so much, sir, for having time for us.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Jonathan Bamba, the co-founder of Burton and Bamba. And we've been around for 7 years, and we've developed a food brand in the shelves called Sweet Tunda. And we're working with small-scale farmers. We buy fruit from them and vegetables, and we value add. We turn it into something that will last longer than if it was just fresh.
When you talk about value addition of fruits, I'm imagining you make juice from it, but I'm seeing crisps and different kinds of things. Tell us about the value addition. What kind of value addition is this?
So we're doing dehydration. So we've got different technologies. So one of them is through dried mango. So we have a dried mango, and we do other dried fruit. We have banana, we do strawberries, raspberries, pineapple, and we basically leave about 15% moisture, and then it's a healthy snack. And most of the nutrients are retained. Value addition is everything, because so much food is going to waste these days, and the mango value chain especially, there's who knows, maybe 50% of mangoes will never reach a market. So we're trying to buy from the farmers. We are their customers, and then we will add value to it, and we will pack it into our Sweet Tunda packaging. For both the local and international brands. And then we're also doing other products as well. So this is our newest, most exciting product. This is a new snack called a cracky, and it's made from orange sweet potato.
Okay.
And then we, so it's kind of a healthier snack compared to a potato crisp. And we just have different flavors.
I want to test one.
You want to? Here we are. There we are. It's right here.
Hey, this is
And then we've also got another exciting new project. And
Just like crisps, normal crisps.
yeah, but it's made
How
from
do
a
you do
healthier
it?
product.
How do you do it?
It's a secret, goodness me, I can't tell you. If I'm telling the media, then everyone will know.
Okay.
But this is the other exciting project. And this one, as you can see, is just here. If the camera can go to this pop-up banner, this is all about aseptic pasteurization. So we can turn any fruit or vegetable into a puree.
Okay.
And then, so for example, mango, we can turn this mango into an aseptic mango so that it does not need a cold chain. And then once it's in this aseptic bag, it will last about 18 months
Oh,
on a
okay.
shelf.
18 months, this is
And the
1 year, 6
color,
months.
the nutrients, everything will stay the same. But then we can sell this into
Sorry.
the coffee shop. We can sell it, and we can do all sorts. We have blueberry here. We can do mango. We can do pineapple in small kind of 10, 20 litre bags. We can also do vegetables. So we do our sweet potato. You can see here. Which goes into the bakery market. So we're trying to engage with bakers.
I'm thinking also doing, is that noodles or spaghetti?
No, this is sweet potato.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh,
we would
that's the-
then, so what we do, we would then put the machinery. So we first of all steam it, then we turn it into a we puree it,
Okay.
or we blend it, and we turn it into a much softer mix. We blend it with a little bit of water, and then we put it through this aseptic machine.
Oh,
And
now I
once
get
it's been through this machine, this can sit here. This can sit on a shelf without cold chain for about 18
So like
months.
there's no preservative that is put
No
into
preservatives
it?
at all.
And it can sit up to 18 months?
18 months.
There's a
Because it's-
secret you don't want to share with us.
Well, of course, but it's like a long life milk.
Ah, yes.
It's been pasteurized using microwave technology. So this is the first of its kind in Africa. It's American technology, this one, and this is Spanish aseptic filling machines, and it's hugely exciting because it is a first in Africa. And then we are, as I said, we're trying to target for the sweet potato, we're trying to target the bakery market.
Okay.
So we've done bread that can replace 40% of wheat. We can put sweet potato in. So we're helping work with small scale farmers and improve the nutrients of the bread.
Ah. And we are talking about the changing climate zones and people adapting to different kinds of food. And this is one interesting technology that people should tap into. So how are you working with UNIDO, and how come you're exhibiting in today's exhibition
Okay,
this
so
year?
UNIDO has kindly supported us through trying to help support our sales and marketing plans for the next 2 or 3 years. And I think these types of initiatives like UNIDO just provide us as an SME resources and technical expertise that we wouldn't be able to afford if we did it ourselves.
With the changing climatic zones and effects of climate change, what can you tell smallholder farmers? Because most of the farmers are now quitting farming because of drought, the war in Ukraine. What message can you tell smallholder farmers? Is it about time they diversified to drought-resilient crops?
I think so. I think drought-resilient crops are going to be more and more important. But I think also before farmers go into farming, they've got to think, do we need another mango tree in the market?
Yeah.
Do we need another avocado or macadamia? Where is the market for my produce?
Yes.
So I think the farmer's got to understand where their crop is going to go to. Who's their customer?
Interesting. Where can your products be found if someone wants to get a hold of them?
Thank you for asking that. So we've been in Carrefour for some years, Chandarana, a few Naivases. We're hoping that these will go into the more mainstream supermarkets like Naivas and Quickmart. And we very much want to take these sweet potato crackies into the general trade.
I'm interested in this ones. I'll make sure I come back for some.
Please,
They're very
please.
sweet.
We are very excited about our crackies.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for your
Thank
time.
you guys very much.
We really
Okay,
appreciate
bye-bye.
it.